Hello, welcome back to another video for 75 Days of Kingdom Hearts. My name is KewlImp Justin, and I'm known by another host of names that I'm not allowed to say. With that said, we are going to be talking about Union Cross. Since it has such an impact on what's going to be happening in the future games, it's something I did want to mention several times over. I think it is necessary. And I'm sorry, I forgot to put up my timer. I like to make sure my videos don't run way too long. Alright, there we go. So with that said, one of the theories that I've been promoting, at least on my channel, I don't know if other people's are promoting it or if they think that it's a legit theory. But one of the theories that I think is happening is I think that the Union Cross world is a sleeping world somewhere out in the depths of space, blah blah blah. And because of that, no one really knows where they are. At some point, Master Xehanort finds them, and he finds the City of Darklings. This is my current theory on where Marluxia, Larxene, and Xigbar was found. Again, I'm maintaining that Brig is Xigbar until we see further evidence that he isn't. And if you have that as evidence, please post it in the links below. I will be glad to go ahead and take a look into it and see if there's anything conclusive. I don't think there is at the moment. So with that said, I think Master Xehanort, being a master manipulator, he finds this group of people. They could be Keyblade wielders that woke up, Keyblade masters that woke up, Larxene, Marluxia, so forth and so on. And probably several others we haven't met yet. And he basically questions them, why do you think so many Keyblade wielders became Darklings? Why did so many Keyblade wielders succumb to darkness? And I think what he's going to imply to them is that was the Master of Masters' intent from the beginning. That in order to reduce the number of Keyblade Masters and Keyblade wielders, you just start by working your way down the chain of command. It's kind of an interesting thought experiment, and if I were to ask you, why do you think the police do this or do that? Normally those responses are going to begin a certain way, and it's going to be based on how you think. So when you take a look at a Keyblade Master, someone who has spent a great deal of their life trapped in a simulation, and at some point wakes up out of it because they cannot stand it anymore, they don't want to become Darklings, all of a sudden they start fighting in the real world, and they see where they thought was going to be their safe haven turned into a place of darkness. All around you have tons and tons of Darklings, and you go, wow, I don't believe what I'm seeing here. So, sorry. When we take a look at that, it probably wouldn't take much to convince many of them to just go with the flow. Look, if we summon the Master of Masters by summoning Kingdom Hearts, then we can take a look into why he did this. Now, the reason I think this is happening is because the Master of Masters has seen it occur. Because Xehanort has the no-name Keyblade. And that right there is the difference. I think that is the key to all of this. This isn't about no name. I'm going to actually do another video about that again. Not talking about the fate of no name, but talking about what its importance really is to the Kingdom Hearts series. But that's going to go over here and say, this is the section where I put things where we're going to come back to. Maybe not in this video, but we're going to come back to that because I think it's important. And I think because of these leading questions that Xehanort's going to ask, we're going to find that a lot of these people really agree with him. They're going to go ahead and go with the flow. They're going to say, yes, you're right. You are so right. If he knew this was going to happen, why did he continue to do it? Could he not just write something different in that part of the book of prophecies? What would have happened? And they're going to begin to question what they were taught. They're going to be questioning Ava. They're going to be questioning everything else. Now, Ava's a different subject. I have a couple theories on her. And that's because a couple things have sparked my attention. Not just the avarice thing, but other things along with it. This is also where, after Sora beats several of the organization members, they do not go back to the castle. They go back to the city of Darklings. They are complete beings again. And I'm assuming, and this is conjecture based off of if this is true. If this is true, then what that means is Xehanort's going to work on breaking not their morale down, not breaking down their loyalty to each other, but breaking down their trust in the Book of Prophecies. Does the Book of Prophecies have to be correct 100%? We know for a fact that no name has passed through the ages. Not just because Xehanort has it, but because we see that the Book of Prophecies has been completed, and when the Book of Prophecies is completed, he gives 5 copies to his to the Union leaders. And that is the big key here. Haha, pun, didn't even catch it. It's written down in my notes. not the part about it. It's the no name is something specific, and like I said, I want to get into that into a later topic, because I could spend probably an hour talking about no name alone. With that said, I think this is where Marluxia gets the name the Graceful Assassin as well. I really want to go into Marluxia at a different time. There's a lot for Marluxia going on. Specifically because now we have information about Laurium in the past. But my guess is that many of the Keyblade wielders and a few of the masters, because some of those people had to have reached master during Union Cross, many of those people are not going to agree. And it's not going to be a Keyblade war, because Xehanort, being a clever bastard, is going to let them leave, and then Marluxia is going to hunt them down and kill them. Graceful Assassin, blah blah blah. I think in the beginning, and this is one of the bigger things about the theory here that we're discussing that I think is important. I think they don't realize that they're nobodies. I'm not sure how many of them even have the concept of a nobody. They know darkness. They know the Darklings. They know the Heartless. But they don't really have a concept of really the more complex nobodies. The rawness of the unversed. And this is something that I see very important is coming to the forefront as we see the games continue forward. Specifically within Kingdom Hearts 3, I think we're going to see a huge emphasis. Okay, huge isn't the right word. I'm going to say about 10% of the story is going to be dedicated to the Union Crossverse, or world. And I think that's because of the importance that place will have. Now, it is very well possible that, and this goes back to the other theory that I mentioned about the City of Darklings. If the City of Darklings is indeed by the Keyblade Graveyard, which I think is the stupidest thing ever, then what'll happen is we will see that they did not leave the planet. They did not leave that world. But if they go to a different planet, they may try a different style of existence. And that is something that's very cool to think about. But with that said, I don't have much more to say on this topic. I thought it was something that seems very in line for Xehanort. Not to so much outright tell them you will follow me or obey, but I bet you some of those people were so willing to have a leader again, like a proper leader. I'm a strong leader. That Xehanort coming along and even questioning about why they followed the mom, the master, without ever meeting him. Did he even exist? Does the Book of Prophecy exist? Which is a really interesting discussion on its own, but we're going to put that over there because the Book of Prophecies, I'm not sure how much that's going to actually play into Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it's going to have an influence, but I don't think it's going to play a big part. But with that said, I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I know I've had a lot in the last 28 days, and that's just looking at my analytics. And for me, that's a huge amount of growth. It's like more than a third my channel beforehand. And I want to thank you all. I'm going to continue to put out content. Short of Nomura or his staff coming to me and saying, hey, you're getting too close to what's going to happen in the game and we don't want you to spoil it accidentally. Here's a signed PS4 Pro. More than likely I'm going to keep doing these videos. It's very unlikely that I won't. I do them in recording sessions if anyone's wondering, and that's because going into the future I'm not going to have a lot of days off, and I want to make sure I get all of my content out. But I'm going to say good night, good evening, and good afternoon, and may joy be to you all. And if you want to hear me advertise myself, stick around. I do have a Patreon, twitch.tv/KewlImp, patreon.com/KewlImp. And I would appreciate a like, a follow, subscribe a like, a comment, and subscription to my channel. I produce content daily right now. In the future, it will probably slow down to about weekly content. This will probably be around January, early February. But with that said, good night, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day, and joy be to you all.